Hello everybody, this is the Imagine of, and welcome to another beautiful day on the Imagine This Let's Play series. I would like to take a moment and invite you to look in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and if you see the little Imagine of watermark and you want to press on that, there's a subscribe button underneath there, and it would make a guy feel super special, namely me. Alright, so here we are. We're out here. We're out here in the ocean area, and I know we had talked about getting a mob farm set up. So today we are going to do that, and I'm not going to get into real crazy detail about like what kind of mob farm, because really I don't ever know exactly what mine's going to be like until I finish it. It's just a hodgepodge of all kinds of interesting things, and but the first step in any good mob farm that I do, whether it's necessary or not, I don't know if this is even a good way to do it, so don't model your life after what I'm saying here, but I like to get way up in the air. So the first thing is going to be going up way up in the air, and we got to get a little nether portal built up there so that we can get to the upper parts. So I want to get up to, I think I want to get to 128 or 130. And if I did all my math right and build this thing and everything fits the way I want it to, I'll be very happy. So I hope you guys have just had a wonderful time in your lives and everything's been going really good. My life's been pretty busy. I've got some good surprises coming up for not only this series, but on our other series, the Digs and Diamonds stuff. All right. And we're going to get on to that here in a little bit, but I was going to tell you some of the stuff that you can be looking forward to. For right now, the first thing I want to do is build me a nether portal and a little platform. So got some obsidian right here, and I guess I want this. I am standing on 128, so I'm going to go up one more, and then this is where my portal will go. And hopefully I'm recording this and it can be heard. My fans sound awfully noisy right now. All right. And you know me, I'm always worried about my fans. Let's see here. There's 3. And then we'll go over here. And pop one here. Then if I can get across here like so. And hopefully land here. All right. And I'm just going to build a little bit of an area out in front of this. It doesn't have to be super big or fancy. I just want to have a little bit of space here so that when I come out, it's not just going to be all scary. I don't know about you, but I'm not really into... I don't want any scary stuff to happen today. All right. Kind of in that quiet, thoughtful mode here. And once we get this done, I got to go in the nether and link this up to something in the nether. And I think we're just going to, let's see here. I'm going to go down on this block here and put this back like that. We'll clean this up. Let's see here. All right. Don't want to leave a big tower of sandstone just sitting out in the middle of the ocean. That would look kind of wonky. And it's almost bedtime, so yay. Maybe there's an easier way to get all the way up there. That's just the way I do it. Everybody's welcome to get to the places in their own way. Now, if I could just get to the shore before it's nighttime. Wherever the shore is, there it is. I'm probably going to get caught out here with a bunch of nasty mobblies. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Yay. So, all right. Now, we got a portal up there. That's going to be basically the level where have a little sorting system. I build it up a little higher so that we just kind of drop them down and they die and we collect the goodies, all the yummy goodies. Let me get some fireworks on and we'll take a little spin around that area. So this is kind of where we're at. Okay. Now, I'm going to head back to the base and we're going to get our nether portal built. And I'm kind of excited. Really excited to have a mob farm. All right, everybody, here we are. We're slinking around in the nether. The first thing we got to do here is find negative 53 and then negative 93. And I think, okay, so it's going to totally be, let's see, this way. So this way, negative 53 and then negative 93. All right. So let's just do a little digging around in here. I don't have any blocks in my inventory, just in case we hit some lava. So let's just try here. Okay, negative 53. So we got to go a little ways this way. But it shouldn't take too long with the efficiencies and everything. All right. Oh boy, my favorite. Looking down upon the land, you'll notice that's our little entrance right there. So, we're up here right above it all. We'll just clean that out. And I guess I will have to do some backward stepping. Now, they always line up. These portals always line up with some big open space. Isn't that just the best? Okay, so I was going to tell you a little bit about the fact that we are going to revive and get back going on the Digs and Diamonds server series. So I'm really excited. I've actually employed the help of a friend of mine who's really good at Minecraft. And we're going to get back in there and finish up a lot of the stuff that we started that I did not have the fortitude to continue on myself. So that should be coming up relatively soon, I hope. And we got to get in there. We had a few little logistical things, computer-wise, and we got all that worked out, I think. Now, so we're at negative 53. Now, let's see, right here. And so now we got to get to 93, negative 93. So that would be this way. Just don't let me hit lava. Unless you just, I have to. I'll hit lava if you really want me to. All right. Just cranking right through the basalt here. And so some of the things that we're going to do, this person, I'm going to let it be a little mystery until we get the series going again. But I did upgrade it to 1.16.5, so it's not 1.17 because I think I'm just not ready for that yet. But we got it upgraded, and this person is a farm builder. They understand the redstone mechanics, so it'll be nice to have an actual person that speaks the language and uses the terms in the manner in which they were actually meant to be used, instead of like me butchering the terminology. I know what I'm talking about, but nobody knows what I'm talking about, and that's not fair. So no, I think you guys are really going to enjoy that, and we're going to give them just quite a bit of freedom to just do whatever and improve the situations. And I'm going to get in there and try to do some of the things that I had my heart set on. Definitely got to finish this cool volcano build. I mean, that's got so many of the things already together for it, and I've been wanting that to happen. And I think if you'll recall, the big deal with that was we still had quite a bit of sand to take out. Very little water left, but lots of sand. So I think we're going to kind of tag team that and get that all set up. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Oh, and look, we're there, guys. All right, so 93 is right here. All right, so I guess I will put it. This is not. It's going to be close enough either way that it's not going to necessarily have to be precise. And everybody knows how awesome I am at building portals. Alright, so let's see here. It needs to be... I can do it. I know I can. Yeah, man, this worked out perfect. So it needs to be wide enough that... Hey, I'll tell you what. We got stuff, man. We can do this. I don't really care if my portal is just like the perfect shape. It really doesn't bother me. Not even close. Alright, so I would like to... We're probably going to step this down in here. And yeah, alright. Now I'm happy. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Alright. Obsidian down here. I think, yeah. Now, this is going to be really painful if I didn't do my math right. It's entirely possible. For some reason, this just seems like the weird direction I went, but let's see here. Anything else I can do to comfort myself before I look like a fool? No, not really. I think I'm ready. Oh, I don't look like a fool. I don't have the shader pack on because it looks so much better in the nether. That's it. All right. So here we are. We're up here. And this is where we're going to do our work. So I'm going to go back, get everything together, and I'll get a little bit of stuff prepped here, and then we will we'll take off on our new mob farm. See what kind of frame rates we're getting in here. Oh yeah. Without the shader pack, it's awesome. All right, everybody, here we are. We're back after a little bit of prep work there and gathering a few things. So I wanted to start off by showing that I like to get a little platform built out here for our working area. And I do want to say, yes, this is kind of my own design. It's similar in some aspects to other mob farms, but this is the one that I use on everything. So what I like to do is start off with hitting the F3 and G button, getting our chunk borders, I would like to have my mob farm lined up specifically within one chunk. I think that makes things work out a little bit easier. So I kind of lay out this pattern here. It turns out that it's pretty well centered on our door, which is kind of cool. The other thing is, so our center drop zone will be the 4x4 section here, and I want that to line up top with what we got going up there. So we build our drop platform like so. The one thing I do want to say is when this connects up at the top with the bottom of the mob spawner, it will have a 4x4 hole dropping out of it, but I want to go out one block wider so that if I have some spiders falling through, they are less likely to grab the glass on the side. That is why I go ahead and run a second set of hoppers around the outside of this 4x4 area. And then this is the glass perimeter that we will have going up. You don't have to have the glass there if you build this the way I'm doing it, but if you don't, you will more than likely have some spiders and things wandering around. So this is the top. These four in the center there will correspond to the hole in the center for our drop zone. And basically at this point, what we're going to wind up doing is building up our glass outer section to, well, I think it's like you're supposed to have 23 blocks. I go ahead and just do a good 30, 32 or something like that, so that if I have anybody with some armor or some extra special stuff, that will go ahead and get taken care of in that extra far drop. So we're going to grab a quick sleep. The other thing we have to do is get our section lined up on the back side with this row of hoppers is going to come out and make a run across, and we will set up our sorting system on the back side with everything we need to grab a hold of those things. So we want our goodies, our little tiny tasty tidbits to go into our sorting system, and we'll probably make a little disposal thing on this side over here that will get rid of our extra junk. So this is what it looks like in the beginning. I'll get the sorting side mocked up here, and we'll get back and build our tower up for our drop chute. All right, here we are just a few moments later. We've got a little bit of the sorting system set up. I did want to kind of stop and show this for anybody who maybe doesn't know how to do this. Hopefully I'm not doing this wrong. If I do, I'll correct it later. It's been a little bit since I've done one, but it's pretty straightforward. Impulse, SVs, standard sorter, and I'm sure there's probably a new way to do this with some of the new blocks and things. But for those of you who aren't familiar, the way this works is, and let's get down here and take a quick peek. So we've got a bunch of hoppers going this way, right? And along the top, we can see that these all point into this corner hopper here, and then they feed across the top, and they go down towards the end. That's kind of like the top line. The items are going to feed through, and it's going to check the hopper below here, this one, and see if it fits the sorting criteria. So here we go. The way you set that up is then you get here behind the one that's pointing forward underneath your row going across, and you take a, let's see here, let's get a comparator. I built enough of these in my day. So you just slap down some comparators on this top row, and once you get this in, you're really halfway there. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. I really like this. The other thing we need is a little setup. So when you look at it from the side, it needs to kind of look like this, like so. Okay. All right. I go ahead and just take my repeaters and put them in here. These are going to be what unlocks and locks the torches, or the mechanism that does that. And we just stick these in here like so. Pretty simple. I like to use quartz because I think it looks nice, very nice and friendly. To do my redstone. All right, so then you just take a block, fill that in across the top, and we grab a little bit of redstone, dust or powder, whatever you call it, and you just kind of fill all this in, kind of like our bee farm. All right, so that's really the technicality behind this whole deal here. There's not much else to it than that, except that underneath here, and we have to put a little torch in, and this will be our mechanism for powering and unpowering our line here. So each one of these will get checked. If it works and it matches the items in this hopper, then it will go all the way down, unpower this torch, which unpowers, I believe it's which one of these? It's one of these two. And then it will let the item, I think it's this one, let the item fall through this hopper right here, and it will go down into our chest. So that's basically what the setup looks like. Now we do have to put some filter items in, and we'll show how that's done here in a little bit. But in essence, what I wanted was 2 spaces for gunpowder. I wanted 1 space or 2 spaces for bones. And then, you know, since we do get spiders, and I might keep some zombie flesh because you can trade that, I think, with the clerics, the villagers. So we're going to pop this stuff out here real quick. And that gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. All right, pretty simple, straightforward, nothing very hard about that. So now that we kind of have that in place, the disposal system can be off the end here, very simple. We'll do that here in a little bit too, once we need it. And actually, before we run this, we'll probably knock these torches out till we get enough items in here to make our stacks up here to do the sorting. And I'll show you that here in just a few. The next step is we got to get up on top of this and build our glass all the way up to the base of where the actual mob spawner is going to be. So I'm going to get up here. Let's see. We could use a little bit of... let's see if I can do this with my deal and make it nice and easy to go up and down. Check it out. Oh, sweet. So yeah, we'll get up here and we're just going to grab our shulker box and go around and around. And I probably ought to throw, I don't know why. I think if I was trying to extract experience, it would roll off to one corner easier. We're not doing that, so I'm probably not going to put carpet on top of these. Maybe that's a mistake. If not, we can always just pop in the side and do that. So I'm going to go around and around and around and then get this built up. We are on 136 right here. I'm going to go up 30 or 32, and then we can start building the mob spawner. Yay! Okay, here we are. We made it all the way to the top here. So I did about 30, and it'll wind up being, the drop will be a little bit more than 30, which is fine. That means most people should just die, which is what I'm hoping for. We need some death. So as I was saying, this is not going to be the size of the hole that our mobs fall through. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the blocks that go around here, like so, that are going to actually outline our inner 4 squares that have the actual drop in it. So this is going to connect directly to the bottom of our mob spawner, and when they get washed over, they're going to wash through this little hole right here. So this is actually kind of the bottom layer of our mob farm. Now, I do like to build a platform underneath myself while I'm doing this because it just helps. So what I might do is break off here for a minute and get my working layer underneath, because I do some lights that I can turn off and on, so I can turn the mob farm off and on, and some other things, and I like to have a little working platform underneath me while I'm doing that. So let me get that built real quick, and then we'll get back to the rest of the build here. All right, everybody, here we are. We're got some progress done. I went ahead and went a little further than I had anticipated, but it's kind of good because I wanted to go ahead and kind of give you an idea of what the first layer looks like. So let's go down and take a peek at this from underneath real quick. All right, so I went ahead and built out my platform around so I could do some work underneath, and I want to say real quick that anything in cobblestone is going to be eliminated. And actually what I want to do real quick while we're together is I'm going to take out, without falling off, if I could do this without falling off, that'd be awesome. I'm going to take out these blocks right here because I should have made these. I actually want these to be a permanent block. And everything that's going to be in this underneath is going to actually be this terracotta. I'm just going to try not to break anything I did up there and get these terracotta blocks in real quick. And the reason I do it this way is because this is my mob spawner. And if it looks a little crazy, it might be to some people. Why would you do it this way? Imagine. And I can tell you right now that I've had great success with this mob spawner. So it's got a lot of logic behind it. And I'll do these off camera. So what I want to point out first is underneath, this is a kind of a pre-cocked set of observers, pistons, and power blocks to run the lighting, and they're both going to come off the edge over here, and this is kind of going to be how I turn on the lights inside. And so as you can see, we have a 2 wide channel, all right, that leads up into the drop chamber. And we'll go up top here real quick if I can get my big fat imagining head in here. Now let's see. So once I'm up here, I want to show that this is actually kind of well thought out, even though it looks a little haphazard. So what we got is, if we turn our chunk borders on, all right, the chunk borders show that the spawning platforms all fit within this area in front of these blocks right here. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now we could have scooted this back a little bit, but then the water wouldn't reach the edge. And so what we've done here is I'm pretty sure everybody knows that you do not want solid blocks on the spawn level, on the spawning platform at foot level. So all the way around, we're going to have these upside down stairs so that we don't have a solid block. The wall is going to extend up to here, and the next level will be above this. But what we do at this point is we put these trapdoors here, like so. And I just placed the cobblestone in behind it. And now we can take the cobblestone out. And what this does for me is allows me to get my little water source blocks in here. And I just go ahead and use ice blocks, because if you use buckets and you place it in the wrong place, I guess stairs can be waterlogged, so we don't want to do that. And these are my little secret weapon against the spiders. So we're going to go ahead and get both of these sides taken out. And we may give it a little test here in just a moment. This video is going to be a little bit long. I'm not sure if I don't really just want to break this into 2 pieces, kind of like the building and then the tweaking. All right, so this is all cool here. So all along this whole spawning platform, we have no solid blocks. All right, so let's go get some water blocks. And actually, because I have the lighting up, I'm going to go ahead and take out these torches, because this is actually perfect amount of light to keep mobs from spawning here. So we'll go ahead and just do a little on-camera stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You may not see the wisdom in what I'm doing just yet, but I think once you see this run, you'll be impressed. I think you'll like it. So in the channel, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to throw a set of signs up across here, all right, at some point. But for right now, I think I'm also going to move this set of stairs here. I'm trying to think of a good place I can put these for right now so that I don't have, we'll just come up around the outside. How's that? So let me see if I need to build out just a little bit. Got all kinds of blocks and all kinds of things, but we're going to stick a little extension over here, and this lets me know this is like, hey, this is all temporary. We're not going to do anything fancy permanently here. This is just to get myself a way to get up and down without being inside my build. So we're going to go ahead and grab a little bit of scaffolding and slap this up here. Yay. All right. I might throw an extra one up for good measure. All right, so now we can get up here and we can do the work that we need to do. So I'm going to throw this block in there like so. We'll go ahead and go down here and take a little nap. You just kind of move things around. Once this is set up, this is super sweet. It's all automated. Everything can be shut off, and it's fairly efficient. I really believe in this design, even though it does take quite a bit of work to set it up. Once it's set up, it's so awesome. You'll also see my little dispensers right here, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. So, all right. So we got these pre-set up. So if I trigger these observers, they will pull these power blocks off the light source, or the redstone torches, and turn off my lights, which we're not going to do right now. So the next step is to find some water. I know I have water in here. And let's grab a couple stacks of ice cubes. You may want to call them by their proper names so other people know what you're talking about. I don't really care if anybody knows what I'm talking about. All right. So if you'll see the blue corner of this, all of this fits exactly within inside our spawn platform. So everything that is in the spawn platform will fit inside this chunk. All right. So we're going to hop up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and run a row of these blocks. And there we go. Then I'll hop across here. I really enjoy building this. I don't know why. It's just all up to me. How much fun can I have doing the things that I enjoy doing? So first, we got that. All right. Next, the next thing we want to do is just get a little redstone out so that we can test this and show that it does work. All right, so we're going to go down here. I should have had just a little bit, but I didn't. Let's see. Redstone. Here we go. All right. Put this down on the bar. There are some other resources I may need to go gather in between this, but this is kind of like the explanation of what we are doing. So we're going to run this across the top. just like so. All right, just like so. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And hopefully I make my jumps. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, chilling out. Let me do a little mental work here. And what we actually are going to do is pass this around to an observer that's going to trigger these every time the trapdoors are triggered. All right? So, let's say we put a, and I don't have one on me, so let me go get one of those too. Let's see, I think it's over here. I really enjoy building way up in the air, and the chunk border thing, if you ever get used to using it, it's just so fantastic. I love it. It makes things just so cool. You can really plan out what you're doing, make sure it fits, and makes some sense. I think I watched a video by Nimbom. If I can find it, I'll try to put it in the link. Let's grab a little bite to eat. So now, if I pop, let's see, I guess I'll have to pop one of these down here. And we'll throw one of these up here. And let's see, did I do this right? Now, if I put, and I may not have done this correctly, let's see here. Do a little thinking on camera here. For some reason, and I may have just my spacing off or whatnot, this should, oh, okay, I know what it is. This should actually be, hey man, it's building on camera. It's testing things out on camera. Now, I haven't built this in a while, so we need to get this power supply into powering these trapdoors, which I believe, I guess, would have to be, let's just see what happens if I bring this up here. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I watched that clip back, and yeah, I was just kind of lost. I don't know what I was thinking. It took me a minute, but I recalled that there are just normal mechanics to redstone. So the way I have to do this, and I went back and looked at the way I had this built on one of my other things, just to make sure I was not barking up the wrong tree. I was wrong on the fact that we needed to have ice blocks in there. And for some reason, now I remember why I had to caution everybody, because in my mind, I was thinking about just what a pain in the butt it was to make sure that my water source blocks, when I dump the bucket in there, goes right on there. Because if it doesn't go right on there, it will, it can waterlog your stair and go flowing off the backside. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But obviously, if we look at this now, yes, this will work. I don't necessarily know if I need the repeater, but it works for me. And I don't really mind doing this. So that's the way I had it set up there before. So now I've got it all set up to do a little mock-up test here, just so we can stand back and watch. I do want to say these are going to pulse twice so that we dispense and suck back in immediately our lava bucket, so we don't make a big cobblestone mess up here. Basically, all I'm doing is an observer, and we do a little redstone, then we do a delayed repeater there, and then it sees it over here. So that seems to work just fine for me to get the double pulse, if I'm not mistaken. I tested it twice. And you'll also be able to see that these trap doors are waterlogged. So I guess that's the piece I was forgetting. So let's, without further ado, let me show you how this will work. And it works so fantastically. We'll just do it like this. So you see the quick little pulse in the corners. All right. And then we just set it to whatever our timer we want. I can't remember what the most efficient length of time is. So we'll have this side and this side alternating, and we're going to have 4 layers on this side, 4 layers on this side. And then when it kicks off, we shoot lava out in the corners, which is where all the spiders accumulate, and we get rid of the spiders. So I know that seemed like I didn't know what I was doing there for a second, and I tell you what, it's like I'm not the person who could just get on a bike and start riding it again. I would have a lot of trouble. So all we have to do is fill this in with our water, set up our redstone like that, put our little double pulses on these corner pieces, and build our second layer. And I'm just going to go ahead and get to work, get busy with it, so that we can actually have something to be proud of. And at the end, whether or not we get it fully running today, I'm not sure, but I'm going to push for it. I want to do it. It's going to be a long video, but we're gonna see it happen. Hopefully this now is not disappointing. And we'll be back. I'm going to get quite a bit of progress done, and then we'll check it out once we've got it mostly ready to run. All right, everybody, here we are. We're back again, and some time has passed, I must admit. Been doing a lot of work here. I got the whole thing built up, and I tell you what, I get a little carried away when I'm improvising, which is exactly... if any of you guys are, and gals, are super redstoners, just allow me to be who I am and do my own little thing here and overlook the things that bug you and just smile and have a good time. So I've spent a lot of time. As you can tell, we've built this massive thing, and it is not like the Il Mango approved or the just the super mob farm. This is just kind of my take on a mob farm, improvised. So, all right. So I've shown you some of the things that are going on with this. I've got quite a mess going. I've got all kinds of things everywhere. There's a few steps left that we have to make. I do want to also comment if the audio is a little bit up and down in this and you hear some fan noise and stuff. I'm doing some adjustments and things, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So just hang in there with me. Hopefully next week I'll have it all straightened out. So, okay, I'm kind of waiting around for bedtime because I'm telling you, bedtime, it's always inconvenient in Minecraft. Let's see here. I'm going to offload a few things. I do have to say I used a bunch of my quartz because I like to use it for my redstone. And, well, I had to go to white concrete because I use so much of my quartz. And I tried all kinds of new tricks and things. Just hang in there when you look at all this stuff. Hopefully it's not too offensive. And I'm looking to see if I may have used a bunch of cobblestone that was labeled filter. I don't know. Just all kinds of crazy things have been happening in my world. But we do have a mob spawner. It is spawning mobs and doing things. But I kind of want to give you the gist of what's going on. So I'm going to grab my bed in case I need to sleep. We're going to take a few minutes, and we will finish this up today on some level. So what we're looking at down here is this is the chute, the drop chute, the place where all the bad things fall down and die. Now, because I don't spider-proof the way they can spawn in there, I have these little awesome things down here, and I've got it all rigged up. I've got quite a setup going here. To just pulse these every time the water opens and closes. So let's take a look at what that looks like real quick. See? We get the pulse, and then when it shuts off, and that takes care of the spiders. I'm going to lay down here real quick and sleep. It's been kind of a trial because, one, I've never double-deckered this thing, and two, I always just kind of haphazardly do my redstone for the powering on the sides. So I'm going to kind of tell you about a few of these things as we go along here. So the first thing you'll notice is this stuff right here. That's my lighting. And I've got it all rigged up to one thing without falling off the side here. This goes up, and so I can light this whole thing up in pretty much the flick of a button. We'll go up to the top, and hopefully I don't fall and have any issues today. And we're going to kind of take a little tour of what I've done. So up here, I'm going to have my AFK spot right up there. And so I've got this all laid out. So let's just throw a block in front of this. So now all the lights all the way down are off. All the way. So that's active mode. And I've tried to do this as redstone lag friendly as I possibly can. I wound up using, the stuff on the corners here. I could sit down and figure that out, but I spent the majority of my time getting rid of the redstone lines, the dust on each side. And I had to come up with some kind of way to get the signal down there in a somewhat timely fashion without putting solid blocks at the spawn foot level. I guess I will get in my bed and sleep because a great big thunderstorm has just popped up over me. And we'll take another nap. I don't want to get hit by lightning up here. All right, so now that the rain has gone, there's not really a good way to show you this, so all I can do is just kind of do this, and then maybe we'll go down and out to the side. But suffice it to say, all kinds of things will happen when I put this block here. And as you notice, there wasn't a big lag spike. I did away with, there would be 16 redstone dust here. So I'm using 3 pistons per level to push these blocks over and power these. And I think that really cuts down on the lag. There's almost no redstone dust anywhere. So the water, if we go down inside, is running. You can see we got our lights on, and there have been mobs just kind of spawning because I have this here, and that puts it just out of reach of the light level. But yeah, so this is what it looks like all decked up, and we're going to pretty much just run this for like, I think, maybe 15 seconds, then 15 to 20 seconds, and then pulse the water and run it for 8. I think it takes 8 seconds for them to get to the edge here. So let's get back out. We're almost ready to start the adventure here. So if we take this, you'll notice no big lag spike. Now let's even pull up F3 and see what's happening up in the... if you look up at the top left, there's the integrated server. Now watch the millisecond ticks, and that stuff right up there. So nothing really bad. I don't really see that causing a major issue when it's swapping back and forth running. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And then on this side, same thing. The note blocks, I don't think there's any lag with the note blocks. And you get, I think it's 2 game ticks per observer. So, I tried to minimize that, and I think it's 3 game ticks for the piston extension. I'm not sure if the retraction is instant, but it adds up as it goes down. So I tried very, very hard not to have it add up. As you can see, that's nice. And then, when it's in a powered state, closing the trapdoors, we're not just sitting there with a bunch of powered redstone dust everywhere. So I feel really good about that. I'll leave that running, And we'll go out, let's just do this. I will do some sacrificial blocks, and we'll just go out a ways, backwards. And so I've really had fun on this. You can make your mob farms any way you like. There are highly efficient, perfect ways to build them, and then you can just make up your own thing. That's what I do. And not always is that what you want to be doing, but sometimes it's kind of fun to see what your mind can come up with. So let's take a look over here. And you can see that all of those are retracted out, okay? And the transmission line going down, for some reason, in order to minimize the amount of blocks, we don't want any solid blocks on this level. I have 2 on this side, and let's see, there's 1 here. So there's like 3 or 4. So we're going to minimize losing spawns to having solid blocks on that level as best we can. This is the line that runs the lamps. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of what it looks like. And we're going to just pulse both sides at the same time. And then we're going to leave them off for about 20 seconds and then pulse them again. And I got to get the little clock rigged up. And I know I'm talking long and taking up precious time in everybody's life, but I thought I would just venture a happiness and just explain what I did. And I put a lot of work into this, but I had a good time. And I think sometimes if you can just not worry about having the best thing and just see what your mind can come up with, you can really have a blast in Minecraft. There's a lot of pressure in being perfect, and if you don't have to be perfect, but I'm telling you, I think we got the lag thing licked. The worst redstone are just these little things that pulse the lava in the corners, but I tell you what, then you don't have to spider-proof it, and you get string. So it's really awesome. All right, so the next order of business up here that we must do is one, I think at this level is where I'm going to build the half slab, bottom slab, 20, I guess Nimbom says to, or methods, somebody said, to go out 20 blocks from your roof in all directions and lower the lighting. And then not to have anything solid blocks around your spawn platform. So we've done all those things except for the roof. And when I get this roof in, we're going to build a clock. I'm going to probably use a comparator clock. Ilmango has a really nice one. And if I do wind up using that, I will put the link in the video or in the description. He has a great tutorial on how to make every kind of clock back in the day before there were observers. And so if you ever want to just get into the nitty-gritty, I'll post that in there, and you ought to check that video out. It's really awesome. I mean, you could learn how to make some crazy clocks. But we're going to try one that does about 15 to 20 seconds, and then use the, I guess it's a configurable timer. And that's, so it's going to count the 20 seconds off, start the timer, which will trigger this and let the water out, and then the timer will count for 8 seconds, and then that'll kick off, and then this will count over 20, and then, so it'll just keep going like that. So basically, I think our clock will have to be 28 seconds to account for the 8 seconds that the timer's running. So we'll kind of talk about that when I get that done. And then the last thing, so the roof, the clock, and then the last thing will have to be getting down here and just kind of setting up our sorting. I do want to show that we did get, just in tinkering with all the lights on, with those little misplaced blocks that I put, I guess I'm going to have to fly down because I covered up my little portal there. So let's jump down here and see what kind of crazy things have been going on down here. I probably have blocks everywhere. And I'm going to take all this cobblestone out, so none of the cobblestone's going to be there. We're just going to see the bottom of the spawner. I want to kind of do something fancy here. And I also want to find a way to unpower or power and lock these hoppers when we're not using them. That way we don't wind up with a ton of lag or just the extra lag from the hoppers. So let's see if we got anything. So yeah, so just from tinkering around, you can see with the thing not even really running and with all the lights on, there have been guys falling down in here and dying. I don't have this set up right yet. We need to get our sorter items in there and all that. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. And I tell you what, I'm just really curious what it looks like down here in the water, because I don't even know if these blocks would despawn. And I have dropped a ton of stuff in the ocean, but I guess it's all despawned by now. So maybe because I went more than 128 blocks away. All right, so there we go. I'm going to get back up here, get to work, and finish this up, and then we'll kind of go out this day, this week with this episode on the thing running, and maybe pick up on the next one with us getting our little item sorter set up. But I want to have the roof and all the other goodies on here, so it's probably going to be an hour video. Hopefully I'll produce it nicely, and you guys will enjoy it. Thanks for sticking with me. I've really enjoyed having you with me today. I've had a good time working on this. Let's get this last little bit done and see how it performs. Welcome back, and I just wanted to stop in briefly and do a little progress report, because it just looks so wild when you start laying out your block patterns, you know, and this is, I'm doing all this on the bottom slab, I hope. Let's go double check before I do a ton of stuff and have to undo everything I did. So this, yes, because it's going, this is the block, and this is the bottom half. So this will be the block that they cannot spawn on. That just makes it a little nicer. Otherwise, this kind of, even though it's providing our shade, it would not keep mobs from spawning on top of it. So all I've done is I've gone out, let's see here, I just don't want to fall off. I've gone out 20 blocks in all directions and just connected it in a rectangle, so you can kind of see the our shadow there on the ocean. Boy, that's cool. That's really nice. Now, I'm doing this based on video by Logical Geek Boy and methods called Dissecting Minecraft, and it's like a 16 or 18 part series. Really, really good. Lots of interesting things, but their mobs series, they had two special videos about mob spawning and all the stuff that's pertinent there. So I will probably put that in there at some point. You should just go check that out, because some of the information is a little dated, because I think it was back in 1.13, but a lot of it is pretty much just stuff you can follow as a rule of thumb, and a lot of the specifics. I just can't get into all. It's so much stuff. I really recommend that you, both of those guys are just amazing. But they do a really good series where they kind of play off each other, and they use, methods is from the SciCraft server, and he's just amazing and shares a lot of really interesting knowledge that's very practical and useful, and they do it in a really good way. So you ought to check that out. But yeah, I just wanted to run around and kind of look out and see what all this is going to be. So I'm probably going to have to get some more half slabs. It looks like I've used them all, but I have plenty of sandstone. That's why I chose it. I know my color choice is probably leaves something to be desired, but these are the blocks that I have lots of, and it won't be too offensive because it'll all be covered up under here. We might do something fancy up here. So yeah, so I'm going to keep plugging away, and we're going to get this. We're going to get this done. We're going to get this accomplished. So any of you guys who were kind of curious what I was doing on the backside here, It's a little ugly, but it definitely serves its purpose. I had a little trouble here. I couldn't have any blocks. I ran into an issue with the piston placement, and then I ran into an issue with if I had anything on this side at a certain level, it would just get sucked up by my sticky blocks. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the solution I came up with, and I mean, it works pretty fast. It does a good job. So we'll get back. Sorry to ramble on. One thing I did want to mention too, probably in here, I can take these off, most of these, and I'm just going to slab this floor. That way I don't have to have any light sources up here. We're never going to be under here anyway. We'll just slab all this so we don't get mobs. Anyway, I'll be back when I get this done and I get my clock put in. All right, everybody, here we are. We're at the end, and as you can see, I am beside myself, literally. It's been kind of a rough end of the build. There were lots of little things that went on. When I put the roof on, we had some issues. I had some mob spawning issues on the slime blocks on the outside, so I had to do a little redesign. But I did get my clock put in, and so here we are with this. We have this fader clock with comparators, as you can see. This is a 20-second clock from the Il Mango video about clocks that I told you about. And this is also the little system here that that we had for our, let's see, this was for the repair on the door, pardon me. So what's happening here is this pulses this every 20 seconds. This runs for 8 seconds and then shuts off. This takes care of our pistons and stuff on the side. So up here at this height is the 24, or it's actually like 25 or 26 block distance from the spawning platform. And what we're going to do real quick, for the sake of the people who haven't seen inside, hi Gravity, we're going to take a quick peek on the inside just to show you what the inside of the mob spawner looks like. And for that we use game mode spectator. All right, so we're going to go down. Now I will say, because this block here is not a half slab, and because I have some torches here, this kind of messes with the spawning. So we're going to have to get rid of those. And I will do that in between episodes, but here's what we're doing here. We got the mob spawning here, right? We got our pulses, and so as you can see, we're getting a healthy amount of mobs. And I know this isn't the efficient way to do it because of the spiders sticking around and because it takes a long time for the mobs to die. It actually seems like not as efficient. But it will work. And as you can tell right here, see how these spiders are getting stuck up in the corners? It gets rid of the spiders very efficiently, and they die. So we don't have to worry about spiders. Ultimately, they may affect our mob spawning just a little bit. But this is what it looks like on the inside. These guys will move eventually. So I think that just about sums it up. There is some tweaking to do. We have the sorting system at the bottom to handle. Hopefully this is recording. I've tried to record this clip several times, and I've had all kinds of technical recording issues. But I will say that if you have the determination and the will, you can make this work. Now, I'm glad you guys joined me this week. We are going to work on the witch farm, I believe next, or really close. We might do some adventuring just to break up the monotony. But as you can see, we got our mob spawner done. We are going to have plenty of gunpowder and be able to fly all over the place. I just have to make this AFK spot safe from phantoms and get this all set up. So I will get that done in between episodes, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for your support.